Can you just imagine being Scott Foster? I mean, here you are, you're an accountant, you're playing beer league with your boys, and all of a sudden, you're in an NHL game against the Winnipeg Jets for the Blackhawks.
As if tax season wasn't bad enough, here's Scott Foster gets to stop Big Buff one-on-one in the slot. I love this. Welcome to Snipe Selly. It's the regular season wrap-up. No time for the intros. Too much to talk about. You know who we are. Let's get right into it. Last home game of the regular season for the Knights. They go ahead and retire the number 58 to honor the shooting victims from the Las Vegas Massacre earlier this year.
Not only that, they also had a standing ovation for the Sedin twins, legendary veterans of the league. Too bad it wasn't up in Boston so Marchand can give them a proper goodbye.
So it's goodbye to the Sedin twins. It's also so long, see you later to Erik Karlsson, picking up the puck here for his last game in Ottawa. He can't wait to get the hell out of there, and I'm sure these fans can't wait either. Eugene Melnick, Senators owner, you know how we feel about him, a little fan appreciation, gives a bunch of fans $10 gift cards to McDonald's, except, oops, forgets to put any money on the freaking cards.
I mean, when you think about it, Eugene Melnick might be one of the most polite Canadians who ever lived. I mean, he didn't want to burden the employees at the McDonald's to put on $10 on these gift cards. That's a lot of gift cards.
He might as well have taken a shit at center ice.
So we know it's the end of the season, and we wanted to show you some of the best goals of the whole entire season. But to be honest with you, the best goals of the season might have happened this week. Starting off with Claude Giroux, overtime against the Bruins, fakes the backhand and then goes bar down. This guy needs the Hart Trophy, I'm telling you.
Makes me sick that we got to double up on Flyers highlights here, but this was too sick to ignore. Travis Konechny looking like the puck's on a string here, just absolutely beautiful. Another one that makes me sick to my stomach, not just because it was a Capitals player, because it was absolutely filthy, disgusting Andre Burakovsky here putting on the Ritz.
And then a guy whose big old balls finally dropped this season, William Karlsson, 40-plus goals this year, avoids the poke check between the legs and in the back of the net.
Another team under the microscope for their goal scoring, Nashville. This was an awesome moment though. Here they are, the crowd singing Let It Be after their goal against Buffalo is under review up the league office after the rule change.
Yeah, nobody's been screwed more in the past year with questionable goals more than the Predators, because right after that, Arvidsson had this goal taken away from him after a booth review. I mean, I thought it was a goal, you thought it was a goal. Pretty much all of America thought it was a goal. The league is becoming Charmin Ultra Soft. What are we doing here? So as we all know, the NHL playoffs literally start next week. But what you don't know is that there's already playoffs going on. The NCAA Frozen Four. Our boy Mike Grinelli from Spittin' Chicklets has been blogging about it all year long, and he's got everything you need to know.
What's up, boys? After a few weeks of tournament play, the Frozen Four is finally here. We got Michigan against Notre Dame and Minnesota Duluth against Ohio State. I know you heard that correctly. We do have the potential for an Ohio State versus Michigan national championship game, which would be absolutely bananas. But let's take a look at how each team got here. Air Force beat St. Cloud State, who then went on to lose to Minnesota Duluth for them to punch their tickets to the Frozen Four. Ohio State beat ECAC champ Princeton and then went on to spank reigning national champion Denver. Michigan, on the other hand, had to go through all of Boston, beating Adam Gaudette and Northeastern, and then followed up with a win over Jordan Greenway and Boston University. Last but not least, Notre Dame had to go through WCHA champ Michigan Tech, and then a close 2-1 hard-fought battle with Providence to punch their ticket. Tons of talent will be on display this weekend in St. Paul. Follow along on barstoolsports.com with all my blogs, and you can follow me on Twitter at MikeGrinnell_. Back to you, boys.
Attaboy Grinelli, appreciate you. Thanks for the assist. All right, now let's talk big boys. The playoffs start on Monday. We're going to go through each team and give you a reason why they're good enough to win the cup.
Or why they will fail miserably, completely choke, embarrass their family, their city, fall into a deep depression, and never play the sport ever again.
We'll start with Nashville. Even though they've been screwed more times than Stormy Daniels, they're one of the stingiest teams in the league. They're going to lose less than 20 games, which is absurd. They got the big swinging Pecker back there, and he's the reason why.
And why will they lose? Well, it's simple. Carrie Underwood. Because Mike Fisher's back, and these rookies will not be able to handle those legs strutting through the locker room.
Let's go up north to Winnipeg. When a division rival like St. Louis hands you Paul Stastny at the deadline, there's no reason to think they won't be kissing the cup in June.
However, for young and Patrick Laine, if he has to spend a couple of days in, say, Nashville or Vegas, hangovers and underages could really potentially slow him down.
We're talking about Vegas. They're damn near unbeatable at home, and they got a guy who's done it before leading them in net, Marc-Andre Fleury. Although, speaking from personal experience, I can tell you, no one really leaves Vegas a winner.
And for the Sharks, Evander Kane has been one of the best pickups around the trade deadline in the league. And they can rally around Jumbo Joe Thornton if he can come back. But when you think about it, Evander Kane is always that wild card. Maybe he takes a couple of days off, goes to head to the beach. Evander Kane's going to do what Evander Kane wants.
Let's talk the state of hockey, the Minnesota Wild. It's been a career resurgence for Eric Staal. 40 goals again.
Yeah, but they won't advance because they've already lost Ryan Suter, and come on, their coach is Bruce Boudreau. I mean, who the hell did he ever beat? And over in Anaheim, they got the big horses up front in Getzlaf and Perry, and then if Gibson can stay healthy, they might have a shot.
The Ducks have no chance. Fowler's out, and I'm telling you, Ryan Kessler, right now, if you try and bootleg our shirts again, we will litigate to the fucking moon. All right, the LA Kings, they got all the pieces. They got the #1 center in Kopitar, the #1 D-man in Doughty, and that goalie in Jonathan Quick.
Yeah, but you have to watch out for Jeff Carter. He could have a relapse and start fucking his teammates' wives again. Shout out Scott Hartnell. Then Colorado literally hanging on by a single thread, all because of the play of Nathan McKinnon.
It's going to be damn near impossible to hold off St. Louis when you're missing Eric Johnson and your #1 goalie Varlamov out for the year.
The St. Louis Blues, who are 1 point out of a playoff spot, they actually play the Colorado Avalanche on Saturday night. If they could take out McKinnon, they might have a shot.
After that collapse from earlier in this year, I've got no hope, no confidence, no faith in St. Louis. Let's flip it over to the East now. Tampa Bay, Vasilevsky's starting to worry me a little bit. His numbers are starting to dip. He's never played a full season before, and then to stack the playoff run on top of that.
Okay, but they got more snipers on their team than the whole entire Middle East does. Now to Boston. They have a legitimate chance. They're one of the best two-way teams in the NHL. They got the veterans they need, and they got the young guys to spring them to the next level.
Yeah, but springtime right now is allergy season. And if Brad Marchand's nose starts running, he's going to drown everyone inside of TD Garden.
Over to the Maple Leafs, who have one of the best coaches in the league. You have Austin Matthews and a whole bunch of other young, fast players.
Yeah, but the curse of Phil Kessel lives on, and all Phil's done since leaving the Leafs is win cups. I don't see that stopping anytime soon.
Now over to Washington, who has completely overachieved this season. You got Ovi, who's back, and two amazing goalies in net.
Yeah, but if they have to play the Pens in the second round, you know how that goes. Same old story, forget about it. Speaking of Pittsburgh, they're unmatched. The center depth down the middle is the best in the league. Crosby, Malkin, Brassard. But the defense and goaltending, I'm honestly not sure it can get through a Canadian junior playoff right now. The Columbus Blue Jackets, now they've built it up a little bit. They've been to the playoffs a few times. They've got that experience. And Tortorella's a guy who's won a cup before behind the bench.
Yeah, but Bobrovsky sucks in the playoffs, and this might finally be the year Tortorella just pops a vein in his head and has an aneurysm.
The New Jersey Devils, they got one guy that can take them all the way to the top, Taylor Hall. On the flip side, they only have one guy, just Taylor Hall.
And finally, the Philadelphia Flyers. Now, winning has become a norm in Philadelphia, with Villanova winning, the Eagles obviously, the Sixers are hot, and all the talent on this team points to a deep run in the playoffs. But, as the story goes, our goaltending sucks, and we might as well have a tutor shooter in net for the Flyers. So who knows?
And that does it for us in the regular season. It's been a hell of a ride, but we're just getting started. Playoffs start next week. Looking forward to bringing you updates on those games. Thanks for rocking with us. As always, use hashtag SnipeSelly. Chirp at us below. All right, everybody, have a good one.